So in a positive move for city gas distribution companies, the government recently increased domestic gas allocation for Q2 to 94% of the full requirement from the 85% in Q1. Now, this increased allocation reduces the input cost since the company now needs to pay less to import higher priced gas. Pawan Kumar, the Director of Commercials at IGL, joins us now to track this and to tell us the impact. Mr. Kumar, good morning and thanks a lot for joining in. Can you tell us first, has the allocated gas volume started flowing in for the city gas distribution sector? And how much from this total allocation of 20.7 MMSCMD are you getting?
Yeah, good morning and thank you for inviting me on your show. In fact, we are getting currently around 6 million cubic SCMD per day, and the allocation has in fact decreased for IGL. Earlier we were getting around 6.5 million per day, but now it is around 6.06. So allocation has almost come down, but it has benefited IGL because earlier we were getting pooled gas at a higher cost, which was around 10.5 to dollar per MMBTU, but now the weighted average cost is around $7.50. So it has significantly helped IGL to bring down the input cost.
So lower amount of gas, but lower prices as well. Right, Mr. Kumar, but the question was about what has happened now. I mean, so there has been an increase in allocation, right? Which will start to happen. So, but that is not starting to come in yet, right?
Yeah, in case of IGL, the allocation has in fact come down. But we have, the long-term contracts at a reasonable price. So we are not using any spot LNG nowadays, and the import gas cost has really come down.
So what is the sourcing breakup? How much is imported and what's the import price and how much is it higher by?
We have long-term contracts in the range of around $16 to $17 per MMBTU, and we are using almost 8 to 9% of this component in the domestic gas allocation supplied by the government.
Okay. There is some gas supply coming in from GAIL as well, right? So what does all of this mean for the unified base price? Do you think that could go up in the near term?
I think the unified gas price might go up from the October. But as we see that the government of India has promised that the gas consumption in the energy basket, which is currently 6.8%, needs to go up to 15% by 2030. And the huge investment has been tied up for the CGD sector. So I am hopeful that the government will take some decision which is favorable to the consumers and to the investment in this segment.
So it was $10 per MMBTU in the first week of August, right? What is it currently, the unified base price?
It is around 6.26.
Okay,
and it's expected to rise?
It is expected to rise from October, not immediately.
Okay.
Mr. Kumar, what about prices? Some of your competitors have taken price cuts. Will you also do the same?
See, when the prices were increased, IGL took a conscious decision that we will not increase the prices. So we didn't increase any price after May. And we absorbed the entire hike ourselves, and we reduced the costs and maintained our profitability. Basically, we think that we should encourage the customers and the general public at large for buying CNG vehicles, and we encourage them for conversions so that we have a bigger market. So we have a long-term view so that we don't lose the customers. So since we didn't increase the prices, so we are not going to reduce.
But so you have no room for any cuts?
No.
Or do you have some cushion?
As of now, we don't have any room for price cuts because we are absorbing whatever hike we absorbed, we are compensating that now.
So what does...
And
sure.
Our CNG prices are lowest in the country.
Okay, got it. So what does all of this mean in terms of EBITDA per SCM and volumes? Currently, you're sitting on volumes of around 7.9 MMSCMD. And also your EBITDA per SCM is 8.6, which is I think the highest that you've seen in many quarters. Will it continue to trend upwards? If yes, what would the average be?
It will be around 8, 8.5, maybe 8.6 also. IGL is taking up a big exercise for rationalization of operating expenses. We are cutting our operating costs in a structured manner, and as the sales go up, margins will go up.
Mr. Kumar, beyond here and now, what will happen going forward? You know, will this 94% allocation sort of stay? Will this grow? Because the industry will grow, right? More volumes will grow. So how will that be met? Do you have any clarity, any roadmap from the government?
See, availability of the domestic gas is limited. Unless the government decides to cut allocation to some other segments, I think it will be difficult to increase the allocation to CGD sector. But as the government is committed to increase share of gas in the entire energy basket, I think they will take some favorable decision in future when it comes.
Which could be? I mean, because, I mean, you can't, other sectors like power, fertilizer, etc. also, I mean, you can't divert and provide here more, right? So, what's the slightly longer term roadmap?
Yeah. It's purely a government decision. What happens is not known as of now, but we are hopeful that something will be done.
So, but why is it lower? Why is the allocation, the domestic allocation lower for you in particular?
It is around 90 to 91% of our consumption.
So,
see, it was written there that as per availability, it will be distributed. Earlier, it was said that the allocation will be 94%, but in the revised circular, they said that it will be as per the availability of the domestic gas.
So, have you asked the government to increase the domestic allocation for you?
We are always for this.
And anything that you heard from them?
As of now, nothing.
Okay. All right, Mr. Kumar, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Good speaking with you. So for now, more gas than before, but will it rise further? As you said, it's up to the